Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Jesus Radical Books and Politics, where I talk about what I love very much, which are books and politics. So I grapple with a question on my episodes: can literature transform the world? And I believe it can. And so to that end, I'm reviewing books, I'm bringing on guests. Today I'm going to review the book, One Surviving Poem, that published one of my pieces. But I wanted to say a little bit about my upcoming debut episode. This is like in practice for me. In fact, just a little while ago, I swore I shot like the perfect video in one shot, and I was using this really rad equipment. I had this stand with a blue halo, like a light halo around it, and it worked out beautifully. But my headphones didn't quite sync up with the phone, and there was like this muffly sound. I was like, ah! So I'm doing this again here. I mean, it's a learning curve. I thought YouTube was going to be easy, but let me tell you what, it is not. In fact, I am excited because I hired a professional graphics designer to help me with my short intro video, and how to integrate music, because that's been a struggle. And I really want like some heavy metal band music in my video because I'm an AC/DC fan. But anyway, you may be wondering why I'm wearing this hat. I'm from Chicago, and even though the heater's on, it is freaking cold in this house. So I thought it'd be good to put this on and don't mind my mess. YouTube's actually inspiring me to clean the damn house. What? But I'm a super busy mom too, but I do love to write. And I write both fiction and poetry. I'm traditionally published, and I also self-publish books. You can find me on Amazon under Maria J. Estrada. But this was a collection of poetry, or pardon me, an anthology of poetry that came from, In Case of Emergency Press, and it was edited by Howard Firkin. This is a press that's based out of Australia, and it was such an amazing call and such a challenge, because the premise of the call for submissions was that's my cat Ninja, by the way. The call for submissions was like, if the world were ending, what is one poem you would take with you? And I'm not kidding. It took me like 2 months to figure out which one I wanted to take with me. In fact, there was a call for fiction, and I couldn't even make up my mind. So I ended up not doing the fiction, which made me kind of sad. Let's see if I drank all my tea. Speaking of Australia. Okay. I hope I didn't get in trouble for that. That's totally random. My son bought or got me that mug at Dave and Buster's. You'll see sometime you'll see my kids. You see them in the videos every now and then. They're little photo bombers. But I chose this piece called Jesucristo Santificanos, and it's called Jesus Christ Sanctify Us. It's a bilingual poem. I wrote this piece when I was in college, and I grew up in the Southwest. I grew up in the desert outside of Yuma and Somerton, and even though I grew up in the 70s and 80s, I dealt with a lot of racism, and I hated going to school. And so one day I came home. I was like 5 years old. I was really upset. And in the living room was this phenomenal portrait of Jesus. And he's very benevolent looking, beautiful. But I was so mad, I cussed him out. And this is a poem about that. Jesucristo Santificanos. And since then, Jesus and I have made great friends. I mean, I'm not super conservative or anything, but, I'm a woman of faith. I can hear the eternal mumbling of El Rosario in the other room. I am alone in the living room with dirty blue walls. More alone than my first day of school, where I sat in the aisles looking at a woman I didn't understand, because she was a gringa, and I am a wetback child. I hated her and her sick-colored skin. I hated all the kids who didn't know what I was saying. I hated how they stood up, looked at the cloth with bright red and blue, put their hands over their hearts. They mumbled on and on, like my abuelita, when she runs all the words together from El Rosario. The gringa's eyes were full and new, not like your eyes, that are dying colors. And you didn't help me. Now you're looking at me with those blue eyes like all those dumb kids who didn't know when I said hello. You know everything, and they didn't know nothing. No me mires con esos pinches ojos. 'Cause you're looking at me like I'm no good. 'Cause you know my dad's a mojado, and I can't mumble the way they do when they stand so tall to pray. So I was really glad again that poem called Jesucristo Santificanos is it's from In Case of Emergency Press, based out of Australia. You can only order it through their website, and I'll put the site below, but it's from One Surviving Poem. But I'm telling you what, I'm getting ready for that next call, because I'm going to have my fiction and my poetry ready. And the editors were hilarious. I guess I'm really busy. I run my union, and so I missed one of their emails, and they sent me the proof. And in the proof, one of the editors had written, I know we're just lowly gringos, but please send us your author bio. And I did. In fact, I cut down my author bio because I took the advice of author Steve Carr, and I took out all like the whimsical stuff and just kept it really business-like. And I gotta say, I like it. I know it's my bio and all, but it's really important that as a writer you represent yourself in a way that's professional. But I did keep some stuff that Carr recommends we not do. I kept where I was from. I'm from the south side of Chicago now. I'm a transplant. And then I did talk about my barrio because that informs my writing. So I'll just read that to you in case you're grappling with your author bio because it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to put in it. But I think it sounds good. I put my publications in it, a little bit of just a little bit of biography, not too much. My poem is on page 123. So, okay. Maria J. Estrada grew up in the desert outside Yuma, Arizona, in a barrio comprised of new Mexican immigrants and first-generation Chicanos. She has published poetry, fiction, and essays in Tempest, the Inner Circle Writers Group Science Fiction Anthology 2019, Blaze, the Inner Circle Writers Group Flash Fiction Anthology 2019, Spillwords Press, Daston World Magazine, the Inner Circle Writers Magazine, and a Language and Power Reader representations of race in a post-racist area. She lives in Chicago, Illinois. Since then, I also put in my Instagram handle, my Twitter, and my Facebook account, and then or the link to the Facebook account. But since then, I've been publishing about 5 other anthologies, and I put those there. And I gotta tell you, I've been writing for a long time. I've been writing on my novel, The Harvested, and I finally decided that I'm going to self-publish it because I invest so much time in it, and I like to have control over the cover. I have an excellent editor who's going to do a phenomenal job, and I'm hoping to launch that one this summer. But I didn't start sending out work until last semester. Well, I think in terms of semester, since last spring. And since last spring, I've gotten in like 8 different anthologies, including one that was like the pinnacle for me. It was a poem that went into Overthrowing Capitalism, Volume 6, A World Without Wars, edited by Jack Hirschman and others. And I also got one of my fiction stories that I didn't think was going to get anywhere because it's so long. It's called Barrio Blues. It was a contest winner back when I was in my creative writing class in college. And I got it into Daston World Magazine. So these things have been very motivating for me and validating too. That poetry submission, though, amazing. And this too, this was a victory for me because I struggled so long to pick the poem. And I got to say that Andrew, Howard Firkin did a brilliant job of editing my piece. So thank you, in case of emergency press, and thank you, Jack Hirschman, for the great work you do. Well, thank you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be more to come. In my next episode, I'm going to interview, well, maybe not the next episode, my debut episode. I've been learning a lot. That's why a lot of my videos say test. But in my debut episode, I'm going to interview either Jay Mehta, who is a poet from India, and I call him the Jewel of India because he is a phenomenal poet. And unfortunately, he had a stroke in September. And so I'm launching another book called Wolf Trek. And that book, I'm going to send the profits to his wife and his family so they can, have some whatever they need the money for. It's been a real struggle for him and his family. And I'm wishing you, Jay, a quick recovery. I hope that soon that love of words will emerge from you. And I can't wait to chat with you at 3 a.m. because I'm up. Because she keeps waking me up. And hi, Preeti, and hi, little Riva. So that's all. Tune in. I have a number of other books. I'm reading like a mad woman, and not because I'm up late at night, but I have a number of books that I'm reviewing. Next, I'm going to review Carmen Baca's Cuentos del Cañón and possibly her Fantasma collection. But if you want to be on the show, I would be happy to have you. I have like 5 artists, writers, activists that are going to be on. My goal is to have one a month, but I may have more. And if you want a book you want me to review, I'd be happy to just put a comment below. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't do negative reviews because it takes so much work to write a book. I may buy your book, but if I don't like it, I'm not going to be an asshole and give it 1 star like some people. No. The lowest I go is 3 stars. And if I go lower than that, I'm not going to review it. I try to be uplifting of all writers. That's something that I think is very important because I love books so much. So anyway, thank you again. subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you real soon. And usually I say write on, but do what you love, read as many books as you can, and write on.